Coming up on Vintage Cars Ireland, I'm going to be servicing the 106 GTI. How are we doing, everyone? Welcome back to Vintage Cars Ireland. It's been a little bit of a while since my last video because there's just been so much going on. So today I decided that it would be a great opportunity to service the car, to get a video up and to do a little bit more work on the channel. As you can see, I do have some camera gear in the car just to get some nice shots, and we do have the oil and filter back here as well. The oil of choice today was a Ural fully synthetic 5W40, as this was the quickest one I could get my hands on for today. I thought this would be a nice little instructional video in case you just got a car like this or if you've never done a service yourself before. Unfortunately, I do run into a little bit of trouble, so make sure to stick around till the end of the video to see what happens. It is a beautiful Irish day with some rain, so let's hope that we get a nice dry spell just to get this job done. You're going to need some stand, a jack, just to get the car up off the ground. This car is so low down that I had to drive it up in these ramps just to get some clearance to jack it up. Now proceed to jacking the car up off the ground. Just make sure you get a bit of wheel clearance, whatever space you need to get under the car, and take off the sump plug. And of course, make sure you place it on the designated jacking point so you don't damage the sills. I did put the access stand under the subframe, just because it's a pretty straightforward job. Usually I'd have the lift, but it is currently occupied, so this will do just for today, as it is, as I mentioned, a fast job to do. First you need to get your oil pan, undo the plug and drain all the old oil. Let that drain for a couple of minutes and go get the other bits ready. Next, I'm going to undo the oil filter, and I like these old ones because you don't have to mess around with putting in new filters. You just undo the old one straightforward enough and put the new one on. I was lucky because this one was pretty easy to take off. Sometimes you do need a special tool to take these off. It's kind of like a chain that wraps around it, or sometimes you can put a screwdriver up straight through it and undo it that way. But this one was kind to me today. Here we have the lovely shiny new filter, so just going to smear a small bit of oil around the rubber gasket there going all around, and then going to go ahead and replace it back onto the car. Straight on with the new filter, just get a hand tight, you don't need to go crazy with it. That's the hardest part of the service out of the way, and now it's time to go ahead and put in the new oil. So this is a full 5 litre fully synthetic oil from Ural. Usually I would go with a castor oil, but as I mentioned earlier in the video, this was quickly available to me and will do for this service. I usually go about 5,000 kilometers between every single service, just because with these older cars you want to stay on top of your maintenance and be kind to the engines, and they'll be kind back to you. So the 106 GTI usually takes about 3.5 litres, but you will of course need to make sure with your car specifications how much oil do you need to put into your one. Unfortunately, I did spill a little bit of oil in the manifold, trying to balance the car at the same time, but no big deal, I'll just clean it down before I start the car up. Now, because I had so much oil left over, I actually did a little bit of an oil flush. So what I did was I just put in a litre first and drained it back out just to get any old oil out. Unfortunately, as you can see here, it's still quite dark, so I'm going to do a new service again in a short while. I might give it like 500 kilometers to 1000 kilometers and do another oil change because it did come out quite dark. And here's the old oil. As you can see, it was a little bit overdue. So for sure, it might be worth doing a new service in the near future just to keep on top of it. Unfortunately, bad into the day, I am having a little bit of a issue starting the car. This happened to me before and it did turn out to be the starter, and I was hoping that'd be the end of it, but this issue has crept up again, and as a result, I will not be able to start the car today, I don't think. So I went and checked all the fuses, all the connections, everything seemed to be fine, and I narrowed it down to the starter, which is at the very back of the engine here. Sometimes if you give it a few taps with a hammer, you can get it going again, but ideally, since this is my daily car, I would want to be replacing this part. So I'm just going to go into the car and show you what's happening when I go to try and start the car. As you can see, no life out of the car whatsoever. So I'm going to have to just get the starter replaced. I'm going to have to order a new part and fix this in another video. So not the ending. I mean, I will probably be able to get the car going again. I'll have a look at the starter, see if I can get it fired up. But ideally, you want this issue to be resolved so that you don't get caught somewhere, maybe at work or out and about. So this will be another episode to be done in the future. Anyway, thanks a million everyone for watching. I hope you did find the video informative if you ever want to service your car, and make sure to tune in into the next video to see if we can get this fixed. Thanks a million for watching, and see you in the next one.